recording. All right. Good afternoon. I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Greenwood Stormwater Board. It is December the 11th at 4 o'clock. Roll call, please.
David Payne.
Here.
John Shell.
Here.
Leanne Lawler. Here.
Is there a motion for approval of the minutes from our last meeting of November 13th?
Motion to approve the minutes for November 13th.
Second.
I think
I guess I'll second it. All right, any discussion about the minutes?
None.
All right, all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstain. Okay. All right, I don't see any old business. We'll move on to new business. Adam, I think you're up.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We had a good Thanksgiving and ready for Christmas. I am here to do the quarterly stormwater rate update. We are so again, this is as far as the purpose of this, if anyone is listening or public for the first time seeing this, is it's a quarterly rate monitoring for the rate study for stormwater. And so this summarizes everything. So we have quarter over quarter results for 2024 listed here. The blue is targeted revenue, orange is actual revenue. So Q1 we sort of right in line with estimates. Q2 actual revenue jumps up. There's there, and then in Q3, so this is through September, reconcile the values that trued back up. So a couple different things there. We had a little bit of a bill timing item hit Q2, so when that normalized by end of September. And then when we look at the expense side, that is the target is in gray, yellow is in actual. That had really, in the last year or two, has been trending actually under. We've been carrying that Madison contribution for quite some time, so that came through and was posted this year. Just so you can see where it was hitting Q2, kind of jumped over plan and it's starting to normalize. So by the time we get Q4 actuals in there, we think we'll see that true up. And as you all know, that one has actually been we've been lagging in that category to plan throughout the rate period. So the next would be the operating balance. So the green is the current balance, just shy of $4 million. The orange is the required debt covenant for operating and maintenance reserve. So by bond covenants, we have no less than about 17% of the operating budget in cash at any given time. You far exceed that both from a nominal and percent perspective. And the blue is actually what the original current rate study anticipated you'd be spending down to or achieving throughout. So if you remember, the current rate study runs through the end of 2025 and actually had sort of a cash burn in the actual initial plan. We are overperforming in this case. And this right now we have more cash than the original plan contemplated even having. So again, the actual spend plan, this is not your adopted budget. This is the actual original spend plan in the rate ordinance. We do that for a couple of reasons. One is it's an independent measure of sort of the efficiency to the plan. And then two, as we do these rate studies over blocks of years, it gives us divergence, gives us an opportunity to kind of refine those metrics. So the good news is the operating revenues to plan have been largely right in line the entire time. We've been on the operating and maintenance expenses perspective, we've been trending a little below, and the Madison contribution caught us up there pretty quickly. But year to date, we're at a net revenue. We've overspent revenues by $800,000 through the first 3 quarters of 2024. $1 million of that alone was at Madison contribution. So operating levels, again, we're at 3.84 million with 1.8 million of that invested. Bond and interest reserve was sitting at just shy of $86,000 at that required level, and then the capital fund had the bond proceeds had about $205,000 remaining as of the end of September. So this is the flow of funds. There's a lot going on in this schedule, I know, so I'm trying to be concise. This looks at the operating fund receipts and then the activity. So Stormwater has multiple different accounting funds, and a lot of the activity takes place in the operations fund, and then from any net revenues from that fund flow out to either pay for bond and interest or depreciation reserves. So that's what this schedule is really looking at, is it's showing kind of how that money's coming in to the utility, flowing out to the separate sub-funds of the utility, as well as the related interfund transfers and debt services that are being paid. So you can see all that detail here and as it compares to the 2 prior full year amounts. Capital fund, this is a little dated now. We have a capital planning session coming up here, so we'll work with Chris in the department to update this, make sure this is consistent. This is obviously a large driver to both the cash plan and the investment plan, so we'll continue to keep it updated. With that, that's all I have. I'm happy to take any questions. And here in the next month or so, we'll be working on 2024 year-end numbers, making sure we'll be working with the finance department on the approval and modified adjustments for this. And likely, once December is fully reconciled, we'll be able to bring the full 2024 numbers to you on a cash regulatory basis. That's all I have.
So just before you leave, just so I understand, the 802,000 deficit that we see in third quarter, that's the Madison, reflects the Madison Avenue.
That's right. So if you would like add back that $1 million, you could round terms 200 grand into the black.
Okay, great, thank you.
Cool. Any other questions for me? All right, thank you so much. If I don't see you again, Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas. All right, 2024 carryovers.
You should have a copy of the 2024 carryover list. It's emailed to you from finance, and I think we did it again this afternoon. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that.
Do I have any questions about this? Is there a motion for approval of the carryovers for?
Second.
Any other questions or discussions about the carryovers? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of our 2024 carryover purchase orders, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those have been approved. All right, Ecologic contract.
All right. So this is our Ecologic contract. We continue to stay with them. We think they do a great job maintaining our green spaces. We have 2 separate, I think there are 2 separate contracts here. The first one is for the Serena Trail, or Serena Way in the library, rain garden. So that's right here in the Texas Center. So, and that's an amount of $31,994.66. Legal has prepared the agreement. And I recommend.
Any questions on the contract that you should keep together?
I'm assuming this is somewhat of a reiteration of
Annually, they do. in December.
Yeah, previous years.
Immutable, then I would recommend a motion to approve contract with Ecologic LLC for green infrastructure and native habitat maintenance services for 2025 for the Green Public Library, Serena Way areas, and Serena Way and Madison Rain Garden in the amount not to exceed $31,994.63. Final terms and conditions be determined by the legal department. Authorize the stormwater superintendent to sign that contract on the board's behalf.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
all right. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that is approved.
All right.
And there's your second one there. that Jones is going to tell you about.
Okay, second one involves the Honey Creek Triangle, Worsville Pond, and I-65 Pond over by the side area where Cummins was going to go, in the amount of $60,684.65.
Okay, then I would recommend a motion to approve a contract with Ecologic LLC for green infrastructure and native habitat maintenance services for the 2025 season for the Worsville Road Pond, I-65 Pond, Honey Creek Triangle two-stage ditch in an amount not to exceed $16,684.65. Final terms and conditions to be determined by the legal department to authorize the stormwater superintendent to sign the contract in the board's behalf.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion about this particular contract?
No.
All right, all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
All right, next thing, I want to pull this off. We did that maybe reinvest it in January. Discuss it a little bit further with Irons
The
County.
Hirons contract.
Yep.
All right, stormwater technical manual.
Oh, yeah.
Resolution.
So we did a couple of updates for our technical manual. There's a couple of things that continue to be problematic for developers to meet. One was the 9% of the bond, the original capacity in 48 hours. When they do that, so we made with suggestions of the engineering department for the last one standing, Paul Leone, to make an adjustment to that. And I think the other one was at least 25% of the pond area be 10 feet or below. That was another item that they couldn't, most couldn't meet. And since we have two BMPs in succession, this week will fall the final BMP. We also require aeration. We think that this would will achieve that with this. So that being said, I think legal has prepared a resolution 2407 for adoption of this, updates of this manual.
Get a typo or storm on the second to last line. Strong.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. We'll make that adjustment. Last time.
All right, so is there a motion?
Resolution.
So,
Motion to
Okay,
approve the
yeah.
resolution.
I thought you were gonna read them.
No.
Oh, no. All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any other discussion about this resolution? All right, hearing none, all in favor of the resolution of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
All right, so next item on the agenda, okay, Worsville Road, small pond repair contract. So we've got Worsville Road, I would call it the west curve. There's a dry detention pond that it's supposed to be dry, but it retains water. And so what we're gonna do is do some regrading of that area. So we've reached out to our local contractor who has agreed to do some regrading, haul in some additional dirt, finish grading that pond, seed the strobe, installation of strobe blanket, and an amount not to exceed $17,300. So I would recommend that enter into a contract agreement for that school sewer infrastructure repair.
Business permit.
Did you say 17?
17.3.
Okay.
NASB Construction.
Nasby Construction.
So motion to approve the contract with NASB Construction for repair of the Forceville Road Small Pond in an amount not to exceed $17,300. Final terms and conditions to be determined by the legal department to authorize the stormwater superintendent to sign that contract on the board's behalf.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the contract, say aye.
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 All right, so the next item on the agenda is Cooper subdivision proposal for design services for storm sewer rehab. I actually also want to withdraw that from the agenda and present it at the January meeting. We found a couple of areas we might be able to save some funds. On that. All right, last thing, Ron, you want me to present this or?
All right, then. I thought the folks might be joining us today, but I don't see anyone else on here. The developer of these projects, Clover Management Inc. As part of the O&M manual and your stormwater technical manual, there is a stormwater management practices maintenance agreement, that's a mouthful, that they are required to sign and follow and record in the chain of title that runs with the land, so that everyone knows what their maintenance and inspection responsibilities are for the improvements. There is a form, it's part of the appendix of your stormwater technical manual. They proposed some agreements to it, and it was reviewed. I did not think that most of the changes had any kind of change to the substantive rights of the city. Most of it was clarifying or tidying up some wordage in our form agreement. There was a change that had to do with indemnification, where they wanted to clear that they're not going to indemnify the city if they have to go in and inspect or do maintenance for any kind of willful and wanton misconduct or gross negligence. That's standard. That's not unreasonable. They also had a change about recovering costs. There was a 10% administrative fee. Well, the statute that authorizes us to recover that calls that actual costs, including administrative costs. It doesn't authorize like just establishing an arbitrary fee. So I did not have any real issue with any of the proposed changes. And we are looking at the stormwater technical manual and making amendments and improvements to it. No one's looked at this in multiple years, so I don't think it's unreasonable. And Mr. Jones and I will be looking at that in the new year. He wanted to get it done for this year when the rest of the change, but my schedule did not allow, so I apologize for that. We'll take a look at it. We may be bringing some amendments to you at the beginning of the year. Okay.
All right, so we need a motion for,
I'd probably do them one at a time. If
Okay.
you're amenable to doing it. I would recommend a motion to approve the amendments to the Greenwood Senior Housing Project Stormwater Management Practices Maintenance Agreement as requested and presented.
So moved.
Second.
all right, any further discussion about proposed amendment? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 We'll take the Grove at Stones Crossing Detention Ponds Project. We'll have a motion to approve the amendments to the Grove at Stones Crossing Detention Ponds Project Stormwater Management Practices Maintenance Agreement as requested and presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. What I got, Chris?
Yeah. I might have some stuff.
The last minute. All right.
Of course.
No.
All right, anything from the audience that would like to address the board? either in person or on Zoom or social media. All right, here again, we'll move on to reports. Council, have any?
No, sir.
Thank you. Engineer, city engineer?
I'd like to introduce the new city engineer.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll have Paul introduce us.
I thought there were some new people in the audience.
My name's Jim Fett. Just joined last year as a city engineer. Most of my career's been in commercial, industrial, residential development. And the last 7.5 years, I was county engineer. 2 counties, Montgomery County and Putnam County. Montgomery County, I wrote their drainage ordinance, did all their drainage reviews, and Putnam County, I wrote their drainage ordinance, and I made sure somebody else was reviewing the plan. So, opportunity come up to work with the legend here and jumped all over it. So I look forward to working with you guys, and anything you need, just let me know.
Well, thank you very much. Welcome. All right, Joel, Greg,
Nothing from me.
Billy?
Nothing on the billing side.
Okay. All right, Chris?
All right, we have a couple items, 2 operation and maintenance manual. First one from Greenwood Village, Eagle Drive Extension. We reviewed the O&M manual, find it to be acceptable, and recommend a motion to accept and authorize the mayor to sign the board's behalf.
Is there a motion?
Also moved.
Second.
All in favor of approval, say aye.
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 All right, second one is Lone Pine Farm, Section 2. We've also reviewed this operation and maintenance manual, find it to be acceptable, recommend approval of the manual and authorize the mayor to sign the board's behalf.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right, and the last thing I have is we have our 2023 annual report. So we found this, and we had failed to present it to the board in a timely fashion this year. So we thought, hey, the year's not over, so we'll give you the 2023 report. But we look at the first quarter to find the 2024 report. Miranda worked diligently on this, and it's my fault. I forgot to, every month I forgot to put it on our agenda. So thank you, and I think it looks great.
Who's
And-
Stop it, getting it done.
Who's this Weathers kid in their name?
Oh, yeah. That next year you won't see.
You got rid of
it.
him.
We got rid of him.
Yeah.
We flushed it.
Promoted a good guy into his place.
Budget goes to shiny paper.
I know.
You like that?
Did you upgrade it since you're so late?
Well,
Now what they did, they found the boxes in the back.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, all right, so,
you need a motion.
no, I don't know. We don't. Just presenting to the board. Also, we got the field report that I presented to the board. If you have any questions on that. I won't read it.
All right,
Merry Christmas.
okay. Anything from the mayor's office?
I
All right, commissioners, anything you have to say?
Christmas, Happy New Year.
All right. The motion for approval of our claims docket.
So,
Second.
Any discussion about the docket?
Yeah.
no,
No, I think it's fine.
I was going to be first.
Okay, all in favor of the approval, say aye.
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 Aye. Anything else that needs to come before the board before we adjourn? Hearing none. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll be adjourned. 26.
You're all hungry.